welcome for me and the Wetherspoons menu at our airport. Me and my mum is also here. Hello. And we are going on a very exciting day trip. We are going to Amsterdam today, which is very exciting. Our flight's at 6 a.m. It's currently 4:30. And we are spending the day, and then our flight back is at about 10 p.m. So we tried to do this trip in January and the flight got cancelled. So we've made it this far, but we'll see. But I thought, let's take you guys along with me to enjoy this Amsterdam day. I have never been to Amsterdam before. Mum has. She's a pro. So I'm very, very excited to explore. I made it onto the plane. Nothing interesting happened between my last clip and now, so I didn't film anything. Still pitch black outside, but it's going to take about an hour and 20 minutes to get to Amsterdam. So we're going to get in about 8:30 in the morning because of the time difference. So yeah, next time you see me, hopefully it'll be a slightly more interesting clip. Made it to Amsterdam. We're still in the airport, but Ma, what are your first impressions?
I love it.
She loves it. It was a good flight, about an hour and 20. There was a row with no one in it because people didn't show up for their flight. Waited for ages because I was like, I don't want to take up 3 seats if other people want to move, but no one did. So I lay down across the 3 seats. I didn't fall asleep, but I had the most comfortable flight ever. It was like I was in a first class recliner. It was perfect. So I feel very well rested. So we're not through customs yet, so we need to do that and then look into getting the train into the centre. So I might film that, but if not, I will see you guys when we're in Amsterdam proper, because I don't count it as visiting a country until you're out of the airport. Made it through customs. Now we're going to get the train to Centraal. Mum says I'm not to do an accent while I'm here, but I can't help it. As it's a double-decker train. You don't get these in the UK. They're so cool. Yes, we made it to the water and the canals of Amsterdam. Are they canals?
Well, some of them are.
Some of them are canals. This is not a canal. You only get high quality travel content with me. After a lot of moving about that you did not see, we found it our way to the main entrance. It's been about 20 minutes since the last clip, but we got it here. And look how pretty it is. Look how it's building. They're gorgeous, especially over there. We are now headed to the flower market to see all the lovely tulips, because it is spring after all. And if there's one thing my mum loves, it's a tulip.
I love a tulip.
I love a tulip. I went for a smoothie. I went for an Americano, of course. I went for an orange muffin, and then I got them a pistachio hair ribbon.
It's got a crown on it.
I know. What does it mean? And then our view outside is of the flower market. It's lovely. This isn't even, I think, the official flower market, but it's just so cool. Look how pretty, and there's loads of fake tulips, like, sorry about the flashing lights, there's paper ones, we've seen wood ones. They're really cool. No, that way. Look at how beautiful it is here. This is like the famous street. And it's got pretty bikes. It's not so gorgeous. I bet the flats here go for a lot of money. But on top of that, it's like the loveliest day. It's warm, it's slightly breezy, it's sunny, not a cloud in the sky, ignore that. It's gorgeous. I love it here. So this is the Anne Frank house, aka the place where the annex was, where the family hid. I'm gonna go in a minute, just myself, but we've gone round because you actually go in another way. So this is the actual front. Obviously been modernized a little bit, but I was just saying how crazy it is to be somewhere where so much history is taking place, you almost can't quite fathom that you're actually in that place. Okay, I'm officially on my own. I am going into the Anne Frank house, which is something I've always wanted to do. Really into that sort of part of history, so very keen to go in. It's not my mum's cup of tea, so she's gone off to the Rijksmuseum, so I'm going in myself, and I'm going to get an Uber over and we'll meet her there. So yeah, I'm going to go in. I'm not going to vlog in there for obvious reasons, but I'll take footage and then I'll insert them here, maybe with some commentary. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it, but that's going to be the next thing you see, just to give you some context. Sorry about the lighting, but I'm not willing to move. It's very, very hot today and I am not prepared for it at all. So I'm struggling a little bit, but we've just stopped at this little cafe to have a little drink, cool ourselves down. I'm reunited with my mum again. She did not die. I was worried about that, but she did it just fine on her own. I'm very proud of her. But yeah, I wanted to talk about my thoughts and feelings of the Anne Frank Museum. So it was hard to describe. It made me feel very sad. It was kind of the same as going to Auschwitz, to be honest. It just felt very surreal that you were actually there. Like, you hear about it and read about it and see it so much that in your mind, I think you start to see it as like a fictitious place. So when you actually go, you get a little bit like starstruck feeling. But it was amazing. The sort of actual museum bit, the sort of modern bit they put on, it was fine. It's only really useful if you don't know the situation at all. But going into the actual annex was worth everything. To go in and see the rooms, and you can see pictures of what the rooms look like because they don't really have the furniture in them anymore. It was just, it's such a surreal experience, but I definitely recommend it if you can go. It is quite cramped and the steps are very, very, very small and steep, so just something to be aware of, but I loved it. We've so far moved from the cafe we were at there to here. They didn't really have any food in the cafe, and we're British. We can't resist the chips. How would you rate the chips out of 10?
I'll give him 7.5.
7.5, that's pretty strong. I think I would as well. But we're just gonna have these before heading over to the Van Gogh Museum gift shop. Well, hey. And then we're gonna go over to This is Holland. I'm looking more and more haggard as the videos go on. It's so hot today. But we've made it to This is Holland. So basically it's a like simulator ride where you sit on seat. In fact, the seats are here. This is the kind of thing you sit on. And there's a big screen in front of you, and essentially you go on a ride around Holland. If you've been on Soarin' in some of the Disney parks, it's that. So I've done Soarin' and I did one in Iceland, so you should definitely check out my Iceland series to watch that. I think it was on the last day. So now me and my mum are like collecting them in different cities that we go to. If they've got one of these, we go to them. So we just got an Uber over here because it was pretty far, and it was either an Uber or a boat. So we just got an Uber over, and then we've got about 15 minutes before our flight time. So I'm very excited to see what's involved. I don't know how much I can film, what I can do, but we'll see. Okay, we've just done This is Holland. I wasn't allowed to film any of it. So to go through it, first of all, we were in a room that talked about the importance of water. It sounds really boring, but it was pretty interesting. It was like a film. Second one was also a film, and that was about places in the Netherlands. And then we did the Soarin' experience. And Mad, would you like to give a review?
Oh, it was brilliant.
It was brilliant.
It was really exciting, and it was 5D.
Yeah, it was so cool.
So fun. I loved it.
I think it might be better than Soarin' Disney World, but maybe that's just recency bias. But it was fun. It was funny. It was scary. It smelled nice. It got so wet.
Everybody was loving it.
Everyone was loving it. So much fun. We were in there for 45 minutes. I think, there or
Yeah,
thereabouts,
I'd say
to give
so.
you an idea. And there's like a gift shop at the end, but it was so good. That's definitely my favourite thing we've
Yeah,
done
that was
today,
really
for
good.
sure. It was so good. So if you're coming here, that's the one thing I think you should definitely do. We've now made it. We took another Uber and we have made it to our cruise destination.
It was a hair-raising ride.
Yes, it was quite an intense Uber ride, but we're literally right outside the Anne Frank house again, to get our little river cruise. So maybe not as fancy a cruise as I was suggesting, but we're looking forward to it because it's still a lovely day. It's gotten slightly less hot, so it'll be really nice to sit out there and enjoy the sights. We're docked at the moment, but Ma, Captain, what shall we name the boat?
Jolene.
The what is it? The HMS Jolene. I love it. I think me and Mum have been awake for too long. We're getting delirious that we find that this is very entertaining. Later, I think last you saw was the boat. Since then we've got the train to the airport. We had dinner at the airport. We had a McDonald's. I had like the Amsterdam burger or something. Wouldn't really rate it. Just go for a Big Mac next time. And now we're sitting waiting at the gate. It's been all right time-wise today, Ma. Everything's worked really well. Got about 20 minutes before the gate opens, so all looking good. I tell you one tip though, if you're doing these day trips, you always feel so gross at the end of the day, so gross and tired. I bought floss and a toothbrush and toothpaste. It's made all the difference. I feel a million times better now I've brushed my teeth, so there's a tip for you. But generally speaking, summing up the day, since I'm not really going to film the flight home or anything, I've had the best time. It's been a 10 out of 10 day. The weather was lovely. Everyone in Amsterdam was so nice and friendly. Everything we did was great. The Anne Frank house was an absolute highlight. I've always wanted to go. It was amazing. Such a cool experience. The boat, fantastic. My favorite was Soarin', as I'll just keep calling it, the flyover Holland thing. That was so cool. That was my number one pick for the day. All the food we had was good. And of course the best part was spending it with my ma. Ma, talk a little bit about your review of the day.
Well, I would agree. Flyover Holland or whatever it was called was it was such good fun. I loved it.
Yeah.
And the people either side of us were loving it as well.
That helps.
Loved the choppy sea. And I went to the museum, which was good.
The Reich Museum?
Yeah, we just had a really good time. And I feel like we saw lots in one short day.
Yes, I feel like I got one short day in the Emerald City. Yes, I feel like I got the full Dutch experience from today.
Me too.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Ma.
Well, it wasn't thank you for joining me.
And thank you all for joining me.
And thank you for joining me. And
Yes.
thank me for joining you.
We're going to go home and sleep for a long, long time. Goodbye.